Every 2 weeks, without fail, volunteers head onto the Orange Bridge in Parksville to check up on the Englishman River.
Okay, we'll do the metals one last.
We have a very interesting watershed here. Most watersheds are away from the town, like Capilano in Vancouver, the one in Victoria. Our watershed is actually coming from aquifers. Even though the water's coming out of the river is fed by aquifers, and we live on top of those, which is a nightmare for watershed management. You're living on top of your drinking water.
So water sampling is an activity we've been involved with for several years now, and we do this for Environment Canada. And the Englishman River is one of the few of the West Coast rivers where they actually do this water sampling.
I guess similar if you check it when you go to the doctor who wants to check your health. He sends you to a blood lab. Well, the water's the blood of the watershed. And we take vials of the water and send them to a lab. They have various tests and look for various bad stuff, heavy metals or pollutants in the rivers.
Since 1998, the Mid-Vancouver Island Habitat Enhancement Society has been committed to connecting people to the watershed.
Flows on the river today are down to 0.8.
At the moment, we do restoration, protection, monitoring, whatever needs doing to look after the watershed. And right now we have a program going that we call Watershed Health and You, and that's to get people involved in taking ownership of their own watershed.
The metals one goes in a special Ziploc bag.
Yeah. Personally, I think it's a great idea. It gets the community involved.
It's really important that the community actually understands what's going on in their watersheds. So anything I can do to help that is, I think, is important.
I think to take ownership of the watershed, you need to be involved with it. I've been doing this myself for about 20 years because of love of nature, I think. And it started out because I love the beach at Qualicum, and one thing leads to another. I discovered the creeks, and then I discovered, fell in love with the Englishman.
The Englishman River is where people in Parksville and Nanaimo Bay get their drinking water. But human demand must also be balanced with the needs of the ecosystem, plants, animals, and of course fish.
This summer it's so dry. I've never seen it. I started working in the bush here in 1968. I've never seen all the side streams dry.
The Society is also studying how aquifers affect the flow of the Englishman River.
For our own purposes, as well as DFO or anybody else who's interested, that we're taking measurements of the flow at different areas of the river.
We've got 6 sites. Those are associated with a fault line that runs down from Mount Arrowsmith all the way down to this site where we're standing today and just below the Orange Bridge.
During low flows, which started already in April of this year, volunteers have been wading into the river to take measurements.
Well, we're actually looking for information about on every side of that fault. Is water actually going into the ground, or is it coming out of the ground at that fault line?
The Volunteer Society is primarily a streamkeeper group who are trying to fix the damage done to our watersheds over the last century.
It's really nice to see how people do want to look after their river and their fish. But we all depend on it, let's face it.
For Go on Shaw TV, I'm Annette Lucas.